Me, for example, I just look at it as making friends. I just say go out and make some friends. But for some other folks, they need a little bit more of a concrete explanation or some concepts to think about. What's been your approach there?
Well, we always have a sign-up sheet. And then while people are finishing up getting paid, I'll say, hey, Mary, how about signing up our sign-up sheet? We can keep you posted on what we're doing in the area. And by the way, if you would like to do a home party, you can do it also. So a lot of times just asking, I've always believed you have to ask. And they'll say, well, yeah, maybe. And I said, well, fill out the sheet, and then we'll contact you down the road and let you know. And that's pretty much how I do it. I do it just kind of like you were saying, the conversational thing, and I don't push anybody into it. If they want to do it, that's great. Let's go.
Getting back to the idea of going for the events, going for the bigger business, the joint ventures, because I think that's ultimately where some real dollars can be found. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you add up, 3 to 5 gold parties at 3 to 5,000 each in terms of gross purchases, that adds up. But if you can do an event and put together 30,000 of gross purchases in a day, at a 50% payout, you're doubling your money there. So the question I want to ask you here, Dave, is what should people be thinking about in terms of approaching business owners and business managers from the angle of joint venture partnership deals?
Well, I think if they're just starting out, they should, work with the home party first, kind of get, the hang of everything, and then approach. I think you could approach any business. We just happen to pick the casinos as our first shot, but I think you can do anybody that's interested in creating some traffic and getting paid 10% of whatever we buy. And what I do, I just get on the phone and call people. That's how I've set up the casinos, just cold calling, which I enjoy doing, and I know some people don't, but you just got, the reason they don't is that couple things. One is confidence, and one is writing out what you're going to say.
Yeah.
To that casino general manager. You need to be ready and be, thinking, and call them and say, I have a special event that I'd like to talk to you about that I think you're going to be pretty excited about. It's called, and I don't stop, I just keep going right through it. It's called Casino Gold Party. And they'll say, what is that? So I go and I explain the whole thing to them and how we are going to pay them. They're not paying us any money to come in. They have to market it and advertise it is all they have to do, and then we pay them 10% of whatever we buy.
Yeah, wow. I agree. I think there's a lot of opportunity there, because these businesses are essentially, they are the hubs of networking in their communities. If it's a casino, they probably have guests that come from all in the surrounding communities, and then you get them in as customers. You convert them into Gold Party hosts and hostesses and make it out into their homes if it ends up going that far. So I can't stress that enough. I really agree with you there that's a great strategy. Another question I want to ask you about, especially considering your customer service background, is the idea of negotiating and dealing with customers in the middle of the transaction. There are a couple points that tend to confuse folks. The first point is testing and dealing with stones. I get questions about that constantly. And then the second common question that we get is negotiation. Dave, what's been your approach to those two areas?
Well, first of all, we don't buy stones, diamonds or jewels or anything. We just tell people we'll take them out for you. You can have them, or we'll just weigh it and leave them in if they're real small because they're not really worth much. And jewelers don't really want those, real small diamonds or stones. And our approach on the gold buying is that we test it for carat and we weigh it, and then we give them a price. And they either take it or leave it, I'll say, the total is $280. And I'll wait for their response. Okay. Or, But, rarely we get, rarely we get people not sell it. Usually it's because maybe they want to keep some pieces for their granddaughter. They decided to keep this or that. But we just don't negotiate. We just hit the price and we tell them that's it. It's all in how you present it. If you stutter or hesitate, they're gonna try to even harder to negotiate with you. I know I would, but if you just say flat that it's $280, ma'am, would you like the cash money?
Yeah, how can you say no to that, right?
Yeah. So it works. You just have to hold your grounds, and you'll get some people that will negotiate, but not that many.
Yeah, that's another thing that I've commented on in the past is that it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to get a few people that kind of test the waters and are looking to negotiate, and obviously everyone's going to have a couple people that will refuse, even if you pay them 100%. If you paid them 200% of spot, they might still give you a hard time because that's just those people, and they're certainly out there. And another thing I want to throw your way too is, and again, getting back to your customer experience background, is what are some little things, Dave, that you've thought about in terms of making people happy in an environment outside of the basics like food and snacks and things, which work great. But what are the small little details, given your experience with customer service, that seem to go a long way?
Well, I think one of the things that we try to do, of course, is be as friendly as possible, and credibility. My wife and I are both sitting at the table, and we don't rush anybody. We don't try to rush them through, no matter how long the line is. I mean, we take our time, go through the process, but we'll also, if we're at a home party and it's closed out, for example, we'll let people know that we just paid Mary, $485 cash for her party. Now, is there anybody here would like to have a party like that? And you usually get 2 or 3 sign-ups, from that party. And I think it's just, you've treated the people right. You paid them fair. You were nice about it. People like you. You have to be likable. If you're going to be in this business, if you're not likable, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Go be an accountant.
Yeah. Wow. And one of my last questions here, Dave, for you is, what do you think is the importance behind building your network of contacts and then touching out to them on a regular basis? What's the value there in terms of future monetization?
Well, I'm a big believer in staying in contact with people. You could create a newsletter, you could have your website, and that type of thing. But just reaching out to people and talking with them, the ones that showed interest in having a home party, I call them or send them emails and let them know that I have some dates available here and there. And I don't push them. I just kind of let them know that we're available at certain times. And if they wanted to, they showed an interest in doing a gold party, this would be a good time to do it. So I think you got to stay in contact however you feel that's comfortable, but you have to follow up. See, I think in sales and marketing, most of the business is lost with people not following up. You got to follow up and talk to people because they forget. They got busy lives and they're doing other things. So I try to do that all the time.
All right. Well, Dave, listen, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your commentary here with our community. In closing, where can our listeners go to learn more about the books and the items that you're writing and you're releasing?
Well, I've got a free gift for the listeners at www.goldpartyorganizer.com. They go there, and I got a blog there, but I also have a free guide of how to do this business. And they can go there and sign up for it and get it free.
All right, great. Dave, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
All right, thanks, Tex.